News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I want you to hear this terrible situation this poor sweetheart went through. Maya Valdez, she earned the valedictorian. It was her dream. She knew she could achieve it if she worked super hard. She did, and she got it. 4 weeks beforehand, when she already knew that in Texas you will get free tuition for the first year of college if you're a valedictorian, and she had her speech made. Her relatives from out of the country were flying in and making arrangements to come see her deliver her speech. And then she finds out the worst thing of all, that, and listen to this, here's what's crazy. It was transfer credits. I guess she transferred maybe her freshman or sophomore year, I don't know, to this high school in North Texas. And what's incredible is this policy has been around for 7 years about the transfer credits or something that where it didn't weigh the GPA the same. This is in Blue Ridge, Texas, North Texas. And this policy apparently has been going on at the school in this district for 7 years. And they messed up when she asked, are these transferred? Are my weighted? Do I need to make summer school classes to make my GPA up from the transferring? Is everything okay? Nope, it's okay. Here's Dad and the young sweetheart talking to WFA TV Channel 8 in this story.
I would understand if it was a policy that has been in effect a year or two that they weren't familiar with.
But Jorge said that policy has been in place for 7 years. The district would not share specifics with WFAA, but did confirm miscalculations were made, and corrections are now ensuring compliance with district policies. Maya, disheartened and embarrassed, no longer plans to attend graduation.
This affects my future, and I do not wish that upon anyone else.
In Blue Ridge, I'm sitting.
Oh, man, isn't that terrible? I wonder if you were her parent, would you try to, gently make her go to her graduation? Like, hey, all these people are coming in. We love you. We want to be there for your graduation. Want to get some pictures with you. I wouldn't choose as a parent for me. I'm going to put myself in there because my daughter's 17. And she's doing dual credit. Oh, am I proud of her. It is magic, y'all. She went from I don't want to read anymore and this and that and stuff and, the motivation stuff to she exploded. She has found an interest. Just a sidebar on that, but at 17, doing dual credit, she does basically every class except for one at one of our community colleges for dual credit. And this sweetheart is kicking butt and taking names. She only got, I think, 1 B, and everything else has been A's in her first 8 classes, maybe. I don't know what they are, how many. There's between 6 and 10 classes she's done. I don't know. But she had some homework. She pumped out like a 5,000-word writing assignment or something like that, and I just walked by her room and I just hear in the typing, and then like an hour later, I got an A. I got 100%. I'm like, yeah! But the switch flipped on her, you know what I'm saying? So I have a daughter that's this age roughly, and I understand. But I would say, honey, you need to go to graduation. Isn't that fair? Producer Garrett, to be like, hey, I know she's embarrassed and stuff, but it's not forcing her or being mean to her. It's just, and it's not being like, you will go, you know what I mean? It's just like, honey, I understand your feelings and everything like that. Look, if you want to sit towards the back or something like that, or we can work some out with them, but you got to go, hun. Don't let them take this from you. Fair enough? Or would you just let it? Oh, well, see, hold on. See, okay, and he says, producer Garrett says, I hope that wouldn't cause a scene with the administration. Well, if it did, that'd be on the administration. She could go to the graduation. I'm not saying you go there and you are the valedictorian. You take the mic. I'm not saying that. It's just, why would you still not go to your graduation? She's hurt. But I would teach her, look, you are a wounded dove here. You are a wounded, sweet little Bambi. but you need to go, and you are rightfully graduating and stuff. Don't let them do that to you. I think this school district was horrible in what they did. The policy is 7 years old, but they didn't get it until they messed up on it. And that's what he was saying. If it was a year ago or 2 years ago, I'd understand them messing up. But this is 7 years ago they did this policy, and they failed. And he checked. They did their work. So I guess I'll ask too. Do you think they should make an exception and have 2 valedictorians? My answer is no, they shouldn't. It is what it is. They messed up, and you need to go through hard times. And I don't like this for her, but it's bad. And it would put a knife in my heart. I'd be enraged, probably, privately, right, that they did this to my daughter after all the work we did, helping her and guiding her along. But have you ever had a situation like this, or a job loss like this, where somebody turned you down and it ended up being a blessing, a huge blessing to you? 800-288-WBAP is our number, and 800-288-9227 is our number. How would you react if this was your child? I'm proud of Dad for not freaking out or being a jerkety jerk with it. You know what I mean? Playing victim in this. That shows how great of a parent he is and how great he's raised his daughter. And I understand her being hurt, but I would definitely say, honey, you really need to go. It's hard. Hey, look, if you want to sit with us, if they'll let you, I don't care, but let's go to it together and let's get your diploma, And she's embarrassed, but why? It's not like she went around, she doesn't seem like the person that's going around going, I'm the valedictorian and you're not. You know what you are? Not a valedictorian. You think she's doing that? No. How could she be embarrassed? My point is, she didn't do anything wrong. It's not her fault. And there's jobs that I have tried to get that I realized, thank God I didn't get that job. Because you found out that boss you would have had is a tyrant, or or a year after you were turned down for that job, the place blew up, and like in my business, the format went from talk to something else. I left Minneapolis, and within a few years after that, or so, maybe later than that, but they blew up the station and made it all sports. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was I couldn't believe they did that to that great station, but they did, and I was like, well, thank God I'm not there anymore. Stuff like that happens all the time. Okay, Nancy Pelosi has joined Chuck Schumer in calling for this leader. I'll just come out and say it, because Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to step down. A second top Democrat leader in the country is calling on Benjamin Netanyahu to resign. Can you imagine what it would be like? And there's no nation in the world that's more of a power than we are. So all of our allies are not at our level. It's just true, right? I mean, you could look at Great Britain, but they don't have the army we have. There's all sorts, the economy we have. The point being here is we are it. So I can't give an exact comparison, because Israel is our little brother, and we are just horrifically mistreating them horrifically right now. And could you imagine, but I have to say some kind of an example. So can you imagine Great Britain, their prime minister, or their leaders of parliament, MPs, the leaders in parliament, coming out and demanding that our president resign? Could you imagine that? How would that make you feel? If 2 of the top leaders of our strongest ally in the world came out and demanded our president resign. Think of it as like it's President Trump, for example. And they're playing the hate Trump game, and they're like, he is a threat to democracy. He must step down. He's a threat to democracy. He must step down. He's an absolute threat to democracy. He's a tyrant and a dictator, and he should be removed from office now. I'm calling on Parliament to vote to command the United States of America to shut that president out and throw that tyrant out now. I demand it. I'm overindulging my little British accent. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. The details on this are next. I've got audio too. This is outrageous. She at one point, as recently as a year ago, was the third in line to the presidency. And she's the most powerful Democrat in Congress, you would think, right? More powerful than Chuck Schumer still, probably, honestly. Or just as powerful. The 2 top most powerful Democrats, other than the President of the United States, are demanding that Netanyahu resign. Do you not think this is coordinated at the top? Are you kidding me? This is coordinated from the top of the Democrats. Make that Trump archetype from Israel step down to appease the Muslim vote in Michigan and such. I'm going into my next topic, and it's coming up next. Stand by. Chris Crock Show, WBAP News Talk 820 WBAP. Now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. Indeed, make it a preset. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi is now doing what Chuck Schumer did, directly calling for Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, to step down. Can you imagine if the British Prime Minister and the top member of Parliament, whoever's in charge of the Parliament, I guess if there's like a Speaker of the House equivalent to the British Parliament, coming out and demanding that our president resign? Could you ever imagine that happening? How would that make you feel? How would you react to hearing something like that? Because she's doing it today. And she was doing an interview in, this is funny too, Irish TV. Hey! If you look at the TV, if you look at the interview, you see over the woman's, the interviewee's shoulder, she's got a box of Irish Spring on a shelf behind her. It's part of the set. Okay, I'm just saying that. Is that horrible to say? Yeah. Well, she's clean as a whistle, or it's magically, what is that? Delicious? Oh, that's Lucky Charms. What have I done? I'm digging myself a deeper Irish grave here, right? Nancy Pelosi. So she panned Netanyahu in an interview with Irish outlet RTE. His intelligence person resigned. He should resign. Talking about the people that died in the incorrect attack, that the faulty attack where they attacked the aid workers, the kitchen workers or whatever they're called, something kitchen. And she says not only and his top intelligence person resigned because he said, I'm responsible for it. This is ultimately my decision. It was bad intelligence that did this, and it's my fault. I'll resign. Because I think eight workers were killed, something of that nature. Which, by the way, and it's not saying it's okay because it's not, but it is very common for aid workers. They know when they go into the war theater, there's actually a good chance of them getting killed. It happens. Remember, wasn't it Benjamin Hall, Fox News, who almost died in Ukraine covering the war? Did he, was he outraged and attacking the Russian government? Was Fox News attacking the Russian government? Did Fox News allege that the Russian government tried to kill a reporter? No. You know why? Because they knew it wasn't intentional, just as this wasn't intentional. But since a lot of folks hate Jews and are anti-Semitic, the oldest hatred there is, they blamed, including one of the aid workers, blamed the Jews. They knew what they were doing. They're trying to kill aid workers because they think that'll make them look good. Right. They think that'll come out looking good. That's a turd you can't polish. Accidentally killing aid workers. I want to ask you, though, are you okay with the most powerful members in Congress? People like Chuck Schumer now and now Nancy Pelosi. Are you okay with the most powerful people in our country, in Congress, the most powerful Democrats, demanding that Benjamin Netanyahu resign? You think that's okay? And would you be okay if top leaders of Parliament or one of our allies came out and said that Trump has to go if he's reelected this fall? A year after he's reelected or something. Oh, he did something that's wrong. He has to resign. Would that be okay with you? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. That's 800-288-WBAP. The audio, though, is something you definitely will want to hear. And I'm going to play that for you here in just 1 second. She said, he's been there for years. I don't know whether he's afraid of peace, incapable of peace, or just doesn't want peace, but he has been an obstacle to the two-state solution. He's been a problem. Nancy, 72% of every Gazan said after the terror attack on Hamas, 72% of all Gazans said in a survey they support Hamas. Nancy, a two-state solution is giving Hamas a state. It would be another terrorist state in the Middle East, Nancy. Are you sure you want to create a second Iran? Here she is.
Recognize Israel's right to protect itself. We reject the policy and the practice of Netanyahu. Terrible. What could be worse than what he has done in response? First of all, the exposure. See, his intelligence person resigned. He should resign. He's ultimately responsible for it.
Is he a block to peace, Benjamin Netanyahu?
Oh, he has been for years. I don't know whether he's afraid of peace, incapable of peace, or just doesn't want peace.
That's a bald-faced lie. Benjamin Netanyahu was critical and instrumental with Donald J. Trump in the Abraham Accords, making literally peace in the Middle East was breaking out under Trump and Netanyahu. Netanyahu loves Trump. Trump loves Netanyahu. Netanyahu loves my pastor loves Netanyahu. You know what I'm saying? This man is a fantastic leader. He's not perfect, but this man is a fantastic leader, and he's effective. And he's an Israeli version of a Trump, and that's why they want to get rid of him, because he doesn't allow the terrorists to win. She wants political gain. She's wanting to sell out our strongest ally in the world for political gain. And what happened when Schumer pulled this crap is our Jewish friends in Israel said, including Benny Gantz, his Netanyahu's political enemy, if you will. He's on the war cabinet because he brought them together. They're all working together to try to kill their terrorists. They're trying to murder them and extinguish them from the map. The two-state solution would make sure that the other state has a permanent state to extinguish the Jews from. They could do from the river to the sea and kill all of Israel, wipe it out from the West Bank over to Gaza, or to Gaza, as some of these leftist losers say on the campus of UTD today. So, no, I am under no circumstances in support of this. This woman should shut her pie hole, and how dare her tell Benjamin Netanyahu to do, and how dare she telling our government how to conduct his business. And Benny Gantz condemned what Schumer said, and I bet she'll condemn this, because he wants to win fair and square. He, as a opposition to Netanyahu, he doesn't want to win by getting help from the United States, because he knows that a lot of people will be so mad in that country for the United States telling them what to do. This is disgusting, and it is the Democrats who are appeasing these mainstream Democrats on college campuses who are terrorist supporters and hate the Jews into giving them what they want so they can win the election in the fall and win congressional elections. No, no, and no. She's selling out Israel for political power, just like Joe Biden is. And this is all coordinated from the top with Biden, Pelosi, and Schumer. All of this, it's Biden's hand, but Biden doesn't want to do it himself because it might look bad. He might lose the Jewish vote and the Democrat vote in good numbers on that, as would be appropriate. All right, coming up next. The questions are you okay with our most powerful members of Congress calling for Benjamin Netanyahu to resign? Do you think this is all coordinated at the top of President Biden, as I do? And imagine our most powerful allies demanding Trump resign for being an obstacle to peace in the Middle East. Would you be okay with that? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Also coming up next, illegal migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard by Ron DeSantis are now in line for victims of crime visas, if they will only testify against the evil criminal man DeSantis. That's next. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Bank of America accused of religious and political discrimination by debanking or refusing to service Trump supporters. Christian churches and Republican-led states want answers. This is my, I mentioned I would do this at 10:30. Then we're going to get to the illegals flown into Martha's Vineyard are now getting visas for being victims of crime. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that with you in a sec. But as promised, at 10:30. So Bank of America is accused of religious and political discrimination by debanking or refusing to service Trump supporters. Christian churches, Republican-led states want answers, they say. So Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach is sent a letter to Bank of America's CEO asking for answers. And his letter co-signed by officials from a dozen Republican-led states. Good. Send that post haste to Charlotte, the world headquarters for Bank of America. It details how the bank appears to discriminate against Christians. And so I'm glad they did this. Unfortunately, Bank of America appears to be conditioning access to its services to customers and having the bank's preferred religious or political views. Your discriminatory behavior, the Republicans write, is a serious threat to free speech and religious freedom. It's potentially illegal and is causing political and regulatory backlash. Thank you. Nail them, nail them, nail them. Any bank that does this. The letter notes how financial institutions debank the Christian ministry groups. There's like 3 or 4 of them they mention. And he also says another project, 2 Timothy project, Timothy 2 project, had its account canceled by Bank of America for operating business types we have chosen not to do service. Wow. However, Daily Mail, they told Daily Mail that Indigenous Advance, one of the groups, operates a business in Uganda. The bank doesn't serve small businesses operating outside of the United States. Anyways, all I know is that if they're doing anything that is not allowed, then we need to nail them to the fullest extent. So, there you go. Now, the illegal migrants that the great Ron DeSantis flew to Martha's Vineyard, remember that? Oh, we love brown people. We love illegals. Yes, you see the signs on our lawn. But we unless you're here to do our lawns, you can't be here. Unless you're coming to mow my lawn or clean my house or watch my children, you cannot come here. No. In fact, we're having the military come with rifles to escort you out. Yeah. We love you. Yes, and we cheered. You remember when they kicked him off and they watched him go away with military troops? Let's see here. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar certified that they were victims of a crime because Ron DeSantis flew them at their own will, not under duress, not under false pretenses. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar certified they were victims of a crime. And now, listen to this. Listen to this. This is the most incredible bribe ever. Watch this. You're an illegal. You have no business being here. Ron DeSantis flew you on a plane to Martha's Vineyard. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks, a week, 3 weeks, a month or two later, the sheriff of Bexar County, who's a liberal, radical left Democrat, contacts you. Now, he has nothing to do with the illegal immigration debate other than supporting it as a Democrat liberal. And he has no interest in going after a Florida governor. But he sees a political opportunity, doesn't he? Sees a political opportunity to gain more power and to look good to keep elected for the leftist progressives that run Bexar County, that populate it. And so he reaches out to them and he says, listen, you're a victim, right? And they're like, no, I'm not a victim. Well, listen, if you say you're a victim, I will give you a U visa, which means you will have a new car. Oh, wait, no. You will be a citizen. You get citizenship soon. Oh, you'll be able to cut in front of the line of everybody, even the illegals you came here with. You're going to get your $10,000, your $5,000 worth that you paid the terrorist narco people. You've won the freaking lottery. If you say, yes, you're a victim, then I'm going to get you a visa. Then you won't be illegally here. You're a hero then. And the Biden administration will rush this through because they love illegals who say they're victims of Republicans. What would you say if you were one of those illegals? If you had some sheriff, you could care less if he's a leftist or right. You don't care about his politics. And he tells you, if you agree with me and say you're a victim of crime, wink, wink, I'll get you a visa. Would you do it? If you were the illegal. Producer Garrett, would you? Of course you would. I would too. Oh, I'm a victim. Sí, es posible. Yo soy no sé cómo se dice en español, víctima. No sé cómo se dice, pero I'm a victim. Yes. A crime has been perpetrated upon me. No, it hasn't. This is a bribe to illegals to give them the win of the century by becoming a legal resident here, by being a crime victim, which gets them a U visa. So, first of all, I want to ask you, do you think there was a crime here? Do you think there actually was a crime here with the illegals being flown into Martha's Vineyard? And number two, would you say you're a victim too if it meant getting amnesty, if you're one of these illegals? Like, oh, no, I'm not a victim, but what? I can get a visa? Yes, I'm a victim. What do you want me to say? And how is this not a bribe? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. How is this not a bribe for illegals to be told, if you say you're a victim, you will have a visa. You will have your magic ticket, your ticket to Wonka World or whatever, your Willy Wonka ticket. The magic chocolate bar ticket. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Illegal migrants who cooperated with the sheriff were able to apply for U non-immigration status. It's a U visa. It's a bribe. It's set aside for victims of certain crimes who have suffered mental or physical abuse. Yes! Ron DeSantis mentally and physically abused them! You know who mentally and physically abused them, if anybody did? The liberals on Martha's Vineyard, the rich, white, lily-white liberals on Martha's Vineyard. They made them victims because they had the military come in and take them away. At the end of a point of a gun, at the barrel of a gun, truthfully. The military doesn't come to tickle you, tickle me Elmo, and to get you to comply. What would you do if military freaking troops showed up and you were in Mexico and they were taking you away? Would you fight them? I mean, you probably wouldn't. You'd be like, oh my gosh, if I do something here and I fight them, then I'll probably go to jail for like 10 years in some dank prison to be abused and beaten with a rubber hose right in a basement somewhere in a horrible state in a horrible little tiny town in Mexico where they can extort my family money and they could, beat the snot out of me when they want at will. So that's what this is. This is unbelievable. The Bexar County Sheriff recommended in June that the DA in Bexar County bring criminal charges. Look at this. He recommended the DA in Bexar County bring criminal charges for deception tactics. However, no charges have been filed. The woke Soros DA in Bexar County refuses to charge. Why do you think that's the case? Why does he refuse to charge Ron DeSantis? You know why? Because he knows there's no crime. He knows no jury's going to convict him, even liberal San Antonio. You know that, and he knows that. No Texas jury is going to convict Ron DeSantis of a crime. And he says the Bexar County's DA inaction in this matter is concerning and cannot be understated. We need a warrant, and we need to tase and cuff and jail Ron DeSantis, just like Trump, right? Holy gosh. Anyways, yeah, these illegals would absolutely, any illegal would say, yes, I'll be a victim, even though I'm not, to get a visa. They would, and we all know it. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Okay, you have to hear this one. This is great. A ref throws out a Yankees manager today, apparently, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. It just happened, though. A ref throws out a Yankees baseball manager because he mistook the ref mistook a fan yelling at him. He thought it was the manager yelling at him. You have to hear the audio of this play-by-play, and I'll describe it. We'll talk about it coming up next. And I'll be asking you, was this ref wrong to throw out the Yankees manager? And have you ever been punished for something you didn't do, whether as a kid or an adult? Because there was one thing I went through where I got punished for something I did not do, and that's literally what happened in this game. That's up next. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. This story is muy fantástico to talk about. Here we go. We have the Yankees. And this game was going down with the Yankees. And the coach... what is his name right there? Boone. Aaron Boone. Thank you. You already knew that, didn't you? Look at you. Rangers, Yankees manager Aaron Boone. He is standing in the dugout. He's doing his job. He's looking at people, making signals or whatever, you know what I mean, and communicating with the players in the dugout, looking over here. He's, they sit there, they chew their gum, or they chew their chew, if you will, their dip, and they, in a cup or something, they sit there and they're, looking all sly and stealth, and they're wearing their, hat and their little, a lot of times their sunglasses. Yeah, look at me, I'm badass. Yeah, you don't know what I'm doing, who I'm talking to. Yeah, I'm the master here. I'm the lay of the land. And then all of a sudden, some fan right above the dugout. I think he's got the first row, right where the dugout is. That's a great place to be, isn't it? Because you have no obstruction for the most part, I think, right? And you're right about the players. That's really cool. I think I've been there close by once or twice, but unfortunately, some jerkety jerk, like right above where he's standing, yells something nasty at the ref, possibly an obscenity or name. I don't know. The ref looks over, and you will hear what happens next.
Look, he gets a thumbs up, no big deal. Aaron, we're done! I don't care who said it, you're gone!
I don't care who said it, you're gone. Hunter Wenzelstad is so off base for that.
Well, I'm sure Hunter is saying, okay, somebody in the dugout must have said something, but clearly they did not.
So the fan in the blue shirt is the one who says something to Hunter Wendelstad. That's what he reacts to, and he kicks out Aaron Boone, who says, whoa, I didn't say anything. And Brad Ausmus is pointing, saying, it's a fan.
So you have... I think Brett Osman or whoever that guy is he's talking about, I think he is one of the other players on the team or something. I don't know, but he's like, it's a fan. He's like yelling it, like, dude, you don't kick out the coach, the manager, and I don't care, he said. Just threw him right out. You can hear it if you listen closely enough there, but what the heck? That is insane. I hope this ref gets in big trouble. I hope he apologizes and gets penalized somehow. You cannot throw out the wrong person who did nothing. I mean, you can. It happened, but what the heck? So on that one, was this ref wrong to throw out the Yankees manager, do you think? I mean, come on. If you say yes, no, he was not wrong. I'd say, what's wrong? What's your problem? You must be one of those pro-Hamas terrorist supporters or something. Get your head up your butt. And have you ever been punished for something that you didn't do like this, or whether as a kid or an adult? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I think about myself on the bus on the third grade. Yes, I was penalized for something I did not do. Do you remember how Bugs Bunny used to say, shut up? Remember that? With his Bugs Bunny accent. And I said that once. I was a third grader. I'll never forget this. I was on the bus, and the bus driver swore that she heard me say the S word. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? What? I said, shut up. And, you said the S word. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got in trouble. Like, no, to this day, I'm like, no, I'm still saying it. There you are. So hope that guy gets penalized for that. You can't do that, man. That's not cool.